Okay, follow me on Twitter at The Roy Green Show, And Colin Craig was on with us yesterday from the Canadian Taxpayers Federation, speaking about the Federation's plans, or at least proposals, to do away with the Indian Act and what to do after that. And he mentioned the salaries of a chief and some of the band members, and you can find that. Colin just posted some links, sent them to me on Twitter, and I just posted them, so they're on my Twitter account, at The Roy Green Show. All right, just head on over. Gerald Celente is back with me on The Roy Green Show on the Chorus Radio Network. He's the publisher of the TrendsJournal, a great favorite of all of our listeners on the show, or most of our listeners. Nobody's a favorite of everybody. And he does not ever pull his punches, ever. And I think, Gerald, that's what people like about you.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me back, Roy.
Good to have you back. So we've got some things going on in the Sahara area of the world. The terrorist attack on the gas facility, and the Mali civil war, which has turned 300,000 of its citizens into refugees. Only one of the conflicts that are going on. Mali Islamists threatened to retaliate at the heart of France. Today they threatened payback, says the Christian Science Monitor. I can't talk anymore. So why don't you pick it up and tell us what is going on there, Gerald, from your perspective? You've told me earlier, you told me on the last program, pay attention, folks, the great war of the 21st century is already underway.
Yes, it is. And what you were reading from, of course, was our winter edition of the TrendsJournal, where we point this out, that the Islamists said that after France went in with the airstrikes, they killed, again, reports that are coming out, many civilians were killed. They used the word payback. And we said it's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to start seeing payback. They're going to call it terrorism, but who's the terrorist? Is it France going into the French Sudan, as it was from 1892 roughly to 1960? And the French going in because they got a call from the leader of Mali to bring down the insurgents that were taking over the north? Who is this guy that's the president? Oh, it couldn't be the guy that they just had a coup over there about a year ago, and you have a renegade government in control. It couldn't be anything about the uranium right next door in Niger, and France, of course, is filled with nuclear power plants. It has nothing to do with the overthrow of Gaddafi and the Tuaregs, one of the tribes up there that was fighting on Gaddafi's side, took many weapons with them and joined the coup and the overthrow. It's destabilization in the entire area. And Roy, when you listen to the comments coming out from these so-called world leaders, I have to say these people are out of their minds.
Well, this is a point, Gerald, that I made yesterday on the show, and I made on my blog as well. And that is, they tell us they have 10-year plans to develop these countries, like, let's say, Afghanistan, for democratic and westernized type government. Meanwhile, the Western militaries are getting their butts kicked simultaneously. And Bagram Air Force Base in Afghanistan, by American soldiers at the base, is called Rocket City because it's attacked so often.
Exactly. You point to me, show me one victory. By their deeds you shall know them. The United States hasn't won a major war since World War II. Let's just, for the record, Korea. They lost there. The Chinese drove them out. They have an armistice. They still never call peace. Then you got Vietnam. That was a beauty. It only killed 60,000 Americans, wiped out about 3 million Vietnamese, and poisoned the joint with Agent Orange. Oh, yeah, we had to stop them communists from coming into California. You remember that one. Oh, and then there was the lovely Iraq War. Oh, that was a beauty. You know, the one that was fought because of weapons of mass destruction and ties to Al-Qaeda that never existed. And you mentioned Afghanistan. It's only the longest war in America's history. And what has it accomplished? Killed hundreds of thousands of people, destabilized the area, and it keeps creating more hatred. Oh, Iraq, $1 trillion spent, 1 million people killed, and what have they accomplished? Nothing. Nothing other than more hatred. So now let's put this into perspective. You go and invade a foreign country. They didn't do anything to you, and you say, well, I'm doing it to destroy these Islamists. And they say, listen, Jack, you invaded me, now I'm going to pay back. I mean, come on. Who wouldn't? No, hey, we're the French. You can't. No, look, it's us. We're the Americans. We're the Canadians. We're the English. And you wrote on your blog, as you mentioned, you were talking about David Cameron. I assume.
Yeah, he's one of them.
Yeah,
Hillary Clinton's another.
Here's his quote. He has warned that the fight against terrorism in North Africa could go on for decades. And he confirmed that it could go on for decades? And you're going to fix it? What do these guys have to fix? All they do is they start wars and they ruin things.
Now you have a plan, an original thought, an original practical peace plan. What a novel idea. What is it?
Well, there are 4 rules to Gerald Celente's 4 rules of peace. People say, I complain. How about giving us some solution? Rule number 1, you pick a fight the fight. I'm a close combat martial artist. If I call somebody out, I take them out. I don't start a fight and say, Roy, go finish this guy off. All of these world leaders, Cameron, Obama, Harper, all of them, shooting their fat mouths off, Hollandaise over there. We got to take out this guy or that guy. You want to take him out? Go take him out. Do like the warriors did in the past. Alexander the Great, William the Conqueror, Washington, Napoleon, go down the list. You call somebody out, you lead the charge, you start the fight, you pick the fight, you fight the fight, rather than getting other people go doing your fighting for you. Number 2, the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You want to start something? It's payback. Don't complain about it. Don't call them names. Don't call them terrorists. Number 3, you're for the war, you pay for the war. You believe in this war, put your money where your mouth is if you can't put your life on the line. Or let's stay out of this and call it a day. And the 4th, Gerald Celente's 4th rule of peace. I don't need Cameron. I don't need Harper. I don't need some parliamentarian or some congressman chicken hawk who never fought a day in their lives telling me that my country has to go to war. Let the people vote. You want to go to war, let the people vote. No big deal here. There's not a big. Don't call me your commander-in-chief unless you're going to command the lines. Don't call me you're my leader or you're my senator or anybody else unless you're going to go fight. I want to vote. I avoided the Vietnam War, not because I was too intelligent and understood it was a big lie. I just couldn't imagine me getting shot at in a foreign country. Who are these people to tell us we should go to war? Send your wife, send your kids, send your family, send your money. Those are the 4 rules of peace.
Gerald, we have to have you back for a longer session. We really do. And I always appreciate when you come on the show. Really.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for your time. It's TrendsJournal.com. TrendsJournal.com. Thanks, Gerald.
Thank you. Bye.
Roy Green Show, Chorus Radio Network. He's straightforward, has huge number of fans, as his detractors as well. But we'll have him back. And we'll have him back on a segment where he'll take some phone calls.